trolls that populate the numerous jungle isles of the South Seas are renowned for their cruelty and dark mysticism. Barbarous and superstitious, they carry a seething hatred for all other races. Long since exiled from its ancestral homeland in Stranglethorn Vale, the Darkspear tribe was nearly destroyed by rampaging murlocs. Rescued by the young war chief Thrall and his orcish warriors, the Darkspear tribe swore allegiance to the Horde. Led by the cunning shadow hunter Vol'jin, the Darkspears now make their home in Durotar, along with their orcish allies. As one of the only surviving Darkspears, it falls to you to reclaim the glory of your tribe.
Well, oh well. What a fly over there. Perfect setup for a journey with Votaz, the troll hunter, where we're gonna go from level 1 to level 70 and hopefully get ourselves Foridal Star's Fury, the legendary bow. But anyway, while I'm setting up my UI here, I'm just like, why make a leveling guide? Well, partially, I just started playing on a PvP server as a casual thing with an alt, and I absolutely loved it. So what I decided to do is that I'm just gonna go from level 1 all the way to max level, just to have that proper experience. And while doing that, I might as well record the whole thing and grab you guys along. As you can see, I have the Rested XP add-on right here. I'm just gonna use it until level 30, and then I'm gonna drop it and go from there. It's been a good while since I actually leveled the Horde character. So after level 30, we're just gonna figure it out all on our own and see what the world has to offer us. But you know, like I said, why play a hunter? You know, I've mainly played healers and support DPS like boomkins and elemental shamans, shadow priests, all of these things throughout my entire Warcraft career, if that's anything you could even call a career. But I decided to, you know, give a pure DPS class a chance. And for me, Hunter is the one with by far the most RPG elements in, like you're having to manage your pet and all of these things. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be going completely self-found here. The servers are pretty calm right now. Like, it's phase 2 in the Burning Crusade. Most people are at max level already, but I think we'll run into some people eventually. So self-found. I'm not gonna have any help from my main or my other characters on this server whatsoever. So profession leveling, mount, gold, all of these things, it's all going to be earned from the start on this hunter. So I'm actually looking forward to the adventure, and I hope you guys tag along. Every episode is gonna be about an hour or so, maybe a little bit more depending on how it goes, and it's just gonna be me leveling my character, talking about different stuff. So throw this up on your second monitor and tag along for the journey. So as you can see, every time you start a new character, especially on the Horde side, you start off killing boars. At least on the Alliance side, you start off killing like kobolds or whatever. But this is the part of the game where you're actually getting hooked. And hunters also have a mechanic that I haven't really encountered before, which is like the mix between ranged and melee combat. Like, I'm just gonna disable error speech here, so it doesn't bother us too much. Usually if you're playing like a caster, you can just one them even if they're up there meleeing you all the time, or you're just, if you're playing a shaman, when they get up into melee range, you're just going to you're just going to melee them all, you know. And as a hunter, you know, when they get too close, you can't really use your abilities that much. So then you just have to start meleeing them with Raptor Strike. And as you can see there, boom, level 2. I'm actually gonna check. Sorry for, you know, taking some time here. Check my add-ons, because I'm pretty sure that I installed the voiceover. Yeah, the voiceover add-on is installed, because, you know, even though I'm now that's the attunement slash voiceover. So I'm gonna get that add-on before we jump in. I'm actually gonna cut to that right now, so I'm gonna jump into CurseForge. You know, you guys might as well tag along. Let's see, browse voiceover, because this add-on is TBC anniversary voiceover. Let's just see if this has the sound packs for anniversary edition. Sound packs, Neo sound packs. Okay, so I'm gonna install this and see if this is the right one. So it's recently updated. Let's go in here, /reload. Because in the end, you know, even if I'm a gameplay first kind of guy, I actually enjoy the lore. But, you know, for me to be sitting here and welcome to VoiceOver Classic Multilingual, don't show this again. For me to sit here and read every quest would actually be kind of boring in my world. So instead, you know, every time we pick up a new quest, actually, hopefully if it works when we're getting up to the next guy on the guide, it's gonna be reading out the quest text to us in real time, so we actually can have a good understanding of what's going on. And this is also like just a tip for anyone, you know, being out there leveling. I actually learned this all the way back in like 2018. I remember when Classic launched the first time. I never actually played it. I got like level 10 or something, but my guild didn't want to split up because we were raiding on retail at the time, and I had to choose, you know, am I gonna play BFA or Classic? And in hindsight, you know, that was a massive mistake. But hey, it is what it is. I can't really control that now. But the guides I viewed then was like, no matter what's going on when you're leveling in Classic WoW, make sure that you're always getting that XP, you know. Keep the grind going, kill mobs all over the place. So you can, we have a couple of characters here. We got a priest, we got a warrior.
Adventurer, I thought I would die out here with none to know of it. While I was hunting the scorpions of the valley, I came across a particularly vicious looking one. Hurling myself at it, I managed to inflict a massive blow to its claw before it closed around my leg. I wasn't ready for its stinger though. And it sliced down and into my chest, cutting into my flesh and letting my blood. Please, you must kill the scorpion for me. My honor must be upheld. I fought it up on the plateau to the south.
So as we can see, this scorpion actually made quite the injury to our good friend Troll down there. But and I actually helped his shaman out as well with killing that one. So that's kind of interesting with this whole voiceover add-on. As you can see, you get an audible that's telling you what's going on with the quests. It gives you some more context rather than just following the arrow. You know, I can understand people who don't really want to, you know, use leveling add-ons because they think it comes to a follow the arrow.
But looking at the damage I inflicted gives me some small measure of pride. That small measure will be all I have to sustain myself if I die, and in that light, the short list of my life's accomplishments fills me with anger. Seeing the deed you have done for me steals my heart. I cannot fall so easily. I must endure, but it remains that I
yeah, like I was gonna say, you know, it's when you have these kinds of add-ons, you know, the auto accept and auto turn in is a good feature, and it also gives you a good context of the story while you're running around and getting to hear all the quests all the time. So let's see, what's the next one? Talk to Galgar about the cactus apples. So this guy's the next one, okay. And like I said, if you want to check out the Rested XP add-on, you can use the link down in the description, and you're gonna get a good 10% discount from using the code. Okay, so Lazy Peons is the next quest. And, you know, classic leveling, I actually have more experience, you know, questing on Horde post Cataclysm, but pre-Cataclysm, like I don't really have that much experience at all with leveling. Like I said, I missed classic WoW first time around. I actually, like I said, that I really regret that. I think that was a bad thing. I didn't play TBC either. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life back then, and same with Wrath. But playing, you know, post Cataclysm, I played quite a lot back then as well, you know, and I mainly played Horde. But it's going to be interesting to, you know, on a class that's not a druid, see the world from a whole different perspective. And my goal as well, looking even further ahead, is to you know, level each class to 70 or whatever the current max level is, because in my opinion so far the world might be the same, but you know, every class is a different lens to the world. So depending on the class you play, you're going to experience it in a unique way. Like the hunters experienced the world in one way, the mages in one way, the paladins in one way, etc. And also, it's gonna be always, you know, some exclusive adventures and stuff that's going on with every class, and every class has its perks. Like if you're playing a paladin, for example, you might be able to get dungeon groups super fast, so you can really lean into that dungeon leveling. And as a hunter, from what I've heard, at least once you get up to level 10, like you're going to get that pet of yours, and then you're going to be able to really sort of speed level through, and we're going to put that to the test as well. And once I get to Outland, you know, just to make sure, I don't really want to call this a challenge, it's more of a series, like a documentation of my journeys through Azeroth. I've decided that since I mainly play in guilds, you know, I played in guilds all the time, and from what I've seen and what I've heard, you know, playing in guilds actually might give me quite a misguided look at the experience of average players. Or not average players, but players who maybe don't have the time to commit to a guild. So I'm actually going to do everything from pugging. You know, I might join a guild, sure, you know, a guild full of randos, but I'm not gonna use like my experience in creating guilds or, you know, leading raids. I'm gonna be joining pugs all throughout, just to make sure that I experience what it's like for players who maybe not in a as fortunate position as I am. And you know, as well, on a PvP server, it's gonna be probably some ganking. I'm gonna get ganked, I'm gonna gank some people, and that's gonna be a fun and hopefully enjoyable journey to follow through. As for, you know, professions, that's something I'm thinking about while I'm playing right now. You guys can drop in the comments what you think would be, you know, in alignment with the RPG aspect of being a hunter. Personally, I'm thinking about going skinning and leatherworking because they feed each other in a good way, which means that I don't really have to worry about buying as many materials. You know, I could just go out and farm them. From what I've heard, you know, the prices on the PvP servers are a lot higher than they are out on the PvE servers. So leveling professions overall is just going to be a way higher, you know, investment than it is on let's say a PvE server. So it's going to be a challenge for itself, and you know, I'm appreciative for all the help I can get, you know, and you know, maybe some guidance. You know, I usually, from what I remember, you know, you go from Durotar to the Barrens, and then Barrens feels like it's one of the, you know, those zones that never end, like just keep going on and on and on forever. And you know, like I said, just drop down in the comments where you think I would go, because even though, you know, if the rest of the XP add-on might say, hey, stay in the Barrens until whatever level, I'm open to even all the way up to level 30. You know, if you guys want to go to Stone Tunnel Mountains and quest there and see what that's all about, then we can do it, right? So it's not like it's set in stone. But you know, that's the thing about it. You know, it's even though you have the guide, you know, you can use it to get out of, you know, let's say the starter zone, because everybody who played WoW for a decent amount of time has done every starter zone, probably because you leveled the character to like level 5 or whatever. The only starting zones I haven't done, to be honest, is I haven't done the Blood of starting zone, and like I've never actually made and played the Blood of character, and I have never done the Undead starting zone. So on the Horde, I mainly play Torrents. I love the Touring starting area. I love the Mulgore, you know, the plains, the aesthetic of that zone. I played some Orcs and some Trolls. So Valley of Trials is, you know, it's a good thing. But, you know, the other two I've never played, so that's going to be separate series as well. You know, maybe I won't do them on TBC Anniversary. Maybe I'll go and do them on, I don't know, maybe, oh shit, a bag. Dude, guys, that's absolutely massive. Let's see what I can put away the gloves, and then we got a leather vest as well. Dude, like, that's actually sick. There we go, we're getting stacked, boys. Yeah, but anyway, like, they're gonna be separate series, and I haven't decided really what kind of classes they want to be yet. Because, like I said, I mainly play healers and support DPS. Some classes I've never played at max level ever. It's like a warlock. I never played a rogue. Never played a hunter as well. That's why I'm doing this troll as a hunter. And you know, that's also a little bit of an homage to like Creparium back in the day. I remember when I was younger, you know, watching Crips videos and his POVs of, you know, doing raids or whatever, being one of the best hunters in the world. It was really, you know, exciting to see. I never committed to it though, because I'm gonna be honest, like, once you start playing classes and roles that are like more in demand, like healers and tanks, like you get so used to the comfort. Like, I know I can queue up as a healer in Shatrath and I will have a heroic dungeon within maybe 4 minutes. Boom, level 4, boys. Good. We're heading somewhere. We're grinding out. No, but like I said, you get so comfortable with having faster queues that it's kind of hard to go back. Like, if I was to go and play a pure DPS player, I would probably never play in pugs if I'm gonna be, you know, comfortable, and I'm only going to be playing with people that I know personally, like from the guild, because then I know that, okay, we can decide on Discord, like, hey, we're going to be doing this heroic at this time, and that's going to be pretty much the same. But when you're in the pug world, like, it's going to be interesting to see like how I'm going to manage to keep everything going even if I'm not getting insta invited, and you know, how I'm gonna use my time, because I'm used to sitting in Shatraf, queuing up, getting a queue pop instantly, and then head to the dungeon. Like, what am I gonna do now? Am I gonna farm? Like, am I gonna just sit and troll people in trade chat? Like, what am I gonna do? And another thing I'm kind of excited to do with this character is, and not just this one, but with pretty much all of my characters, is that even though I know it's outdated content, but I would like to, you know, get some of the better looking tier sets for the classes that I have at max level. Like, so for example, I can show you, I can just put up Atlas loot here. So I got a shaman. I'm gonna level a shaman. Like, I want the Earth Shatterer gear from Naxxramas on my shaman. I got a priest as well, so you know, I'm on the alliance, so I'm gonna get the priest tier 3, priest tier 2. Like, I wanna have it in my bank. I'm gonna get benediction and stuff like that, because I didn't get it in classic. My priest never actually got to max level in classic. I got it like level 57 in classic anniversary. And then I mainly raided on a horde druid, so it was just like an off piece, whatever, you know, project that I did. And yeah, so that's about it. Anyway, so far, like I said, you know, it's classic anniversary for me. Like, I was super happy when they announced that they were gonna re-release vanilla WoW. With some changes, like the... Oh shit, he tagged it before me. Anyway, good luck, boy. The Bloodlust Master. No, but... since I missed 2019 Classic, I was super happy when they were gonna re-release Classic and TBC once again. And that's been, you know, a good experience for me. I didn't play Naxxramas. I quit, actually, due to... I got a heavier workload in my real life, so I had to take a step back during AQ. Like, I did maybe 2 or 3 weeks of AQ, and then I stepped back, missed all of Naxxramas, and came back for the release of TBC. And so far, you know, TBC has been... It's been a good experience for me. Like, the leveling is fun, Outland zones are really fun, even though, you know, it's more of a dungeon grinding meta right now, and since I mainly play a healer, you know, getting into dungeons was a non-issue on launch. I played the midnight release of the expansion, so I was in that lag fiesta on my druid, trying to get somewhere, and then I capped. Like, I didn't go real super hard, but I went hard enough. Like, I got 70. I don't know, probably somewhere during week 1. Like I said, I didn't grind all that much, so yeah, that's raiding has been fun, you know, even though, you know, you can tell that it's post nerf. Like, Gruul and Mag fell over really fast, and you know, I'm a raid leader in our guild. I did so much preparation because I thought that McTheradan was absolutely going to stomp the raid. And he fell over within like 2 tries. However, SSC though, that we raided last week, was a bit more challenging. Like, it's not like I'm throwing up or it's retail mythic level hard, but it's still, you know, it's a challenge, and it requires a little bit more coordination and, you know, individual responsibility, which is it's fun in my opinion. Like, I think it's a good way to go to increase the not the difficulty level, but the individual responsibility level just a little bit. You know, people can't just go around and go bleh and just sug the raids or the bosses. They need to actually, like, think a little bit, use their brain, make sure that you know, people manage their threat correctly, and all of these things. I wonder why voiceover stopped working. I'm gonna check that again. Like, why didn't I get the add-ons? Voiceover, there we go. Enable quest tracker. Okay, so now I got like fucking free quest trackers everywhere. I got the let's see, audio modules, vanilla extra. Open options. Yeah, that's pretty screwed. Like why it's not triggering the the voiceover stuff. Let's see here then. Fast rules pick. Okay, so I'm gonna check if rested XP is actually the thing that's, you know, making sure that it doesn't, you know, if the auto accept stuff is too fast. I'm gonna try and reload. Because I want you guys to be able to hear the audio. So let's see, now I'm gonna go and train some spells here on my. So let's see, what do we have here then? Serpent Sting, let's train that. Aspect of the Monkey, how much do I have here? Do I really need that? Increase chance to dodge. 8%, yeah, sure. I'll train that as well. Track beasts, no use. I can tell what's beast and what's not. Aspect of the Monkey, Serpent Sting, let's place that on number 3. We'll do auto shot at number 1. And sell some stuff, there we go. So now it's like we have Questy. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna try, and I'm gonna abandon one quest. I'm gonna abandon Fast Rules Pick, and I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna see if it plays. So let's see. It's like, no, it doesn't play. Like, what is the problem here? Let's go back into voiceover, general. Frame, lock, hide completely. Then it's like, no. Frame, strata. Votaz, spine shatter. Enable quest tracker. I wonder why it's not. It worked at first, right? So I'm wondering why it stopped working. I'll get that sorted, you know, because everybody pretty much knows the story, the Valley of Trials stories. Like, we're gonna pick up Fast Rules Pick and we're gonna go and kill some stuff in the cave to get the Burning Blade medallion. But you know, so far, like I said, the hunter is it's really strong early levels. Like I pretty much 2 to 3 shot mobs, and since everything is running out of my auto attacks, I've never run out of mana. So now with Serpent Sting, I'm just adding in, you know, another dimension with just being able to dot them up and keep going. And since, you know, since everything is so limited, with me not being able to get anything from my other characters, then looting everything is going to be really important. So I'm just going to turn rested XP back on, because that wasn't the thing that was disrupting the audio files. And if you guys have any clue like why voiceover sort of bugged out the way it did, you know, just let me know. I would really appreciate it, because it's gonna get a better experience for all of us. So this cave, fun fact, first time I ever made a character in World of Warcraft, it was at a friend's house. I made a orc warlock. I went into this cave, and I swear to God, I was lost. Like, playing on those old CRT monitors. Like, I never even looked at the minimap and saw that there was a way out. I just ran around in there, died, got lost. Eventually I got so tired of it that I just decided to talk to the spirit healer. And that's when my friend came up to me on his second account and gave me 15 gold. And he said, keep those 15 gold. And when I eventually bought my own account like a week later, I logged in to my orc warlock, sent those 15 gold to my new orc warlock, which I made on the same server, but on my own account. And probably like a day later, my friends at school told me that they started to play, and they played Alliance. So I deleted that horde character with my 15 gold and rerolled Alliance. And because my friend who gave me those golds weren't even max level yet, he was like level 55 or something. So 15 gold for him was pretty huge. I think he just bought his mount or whatever. So he was quite short on cash, but he came through and being the real Chad, giving it to a new player. But he was a little bit pissed, a little bit salty with me not giving the money back to him when I was going to swap and play Alliance. And I understand him. It would have been better to just, either in hindsight, I would just have stuck and played Horde all throughout, even though I made a small time commitment. I was like level 10 or something, but I never really played with those school friends anyway. And that's something that's, it's a good topic to get in on, when you, the difference between meeting friends in-game that you play with, like all the time, and playing with real-life friends. For those of you who actually, can play with your real-life friends all the time, and you guys are top gaming chads, all the cred to you. I'm kind of jealous, to be honest. Like, for me, my real-life friend group, when we got into World of Warcraft, like, we played in so many different ways. Like, we have one guy who went straight into, like, hardcore raiding. He was raiding heroic in ICC, he did hard modes in Ulduar, he did heroic raiding in Cataclysm, all of these things. And he was really, really serious about the game. Then we had one guy who got into PvP. He played Arena all the time, and we didn't really want to play Arena, so we didn't play with him that much. And then we had me, who was, more of a casual kind of player. Like, to be honest, I didn't really have either the PC or like the internet to raid when I was younger. Like when I played Cataclysm and Wrath of the Lich King for the first time, and it was a really quite bad time for me to do those things. But I still played the game. I raided at a casual level, like I did normal mode raids and something like that. And we went our separate ways, and you find your new gaming friends that are the ones that have similar kind of interests with you. And the same thing surfaced again, like now we're talking many years later, like Cataclysm released in 2000, was it like 9, I think, or 10, something like that. I'm not really sure, but anyway, we played a little bit back then, and then we went our separate ways. And then, you know, we had different break times, but we all went to school together, like all the way throughout. In Sweden, where I live, we got, it's called gymnasium. It's like the it's what you do before university, basically. And we went to the same class all throughout. And when BFA came out, you know, me and one of the other friends we still played, and but then we got into Mythic Plus, you know, because he played. Let's see, now I'm gonna try and remember the order of the expansion. So yeah, I played throughout Warlords of Draenor, where my friend didn't play, and he played mostly throughout Legion when I didn't play that much. And then at BFA, we both had an opportunity to play pretty much in with our life situations, and then we started doing, you know, some small Mythic Plus. He fell off. He went back to, you know, playing Counter-Strike or something like that. He didn't really like, you know, what was going on in BFA. I stayed. Shadowlands came. I quit Shadowlands in 9.1, and then hope this guy just accepts my invite. Let's see. Come on. Yes, he does. Good. He came back and played like Mythic Plus all throughout Shadowlands, and all credit to him. You know, I would never have managed to do that. And then in Dragonflight, that's where it is. I thought it was in BFA because we were doing Freehold, but Freehold was a part of the Season 1 dungeon pool for Dragonflight. So anyway, Dragonflight rolls around, and we start playing Mythic Plus together, and we're actually like we're enjoying it. Like, but he's obviously a much more dedicated player than I am, so he pushed a lot higher keys. But we found something that we could do, you know, together, and that's for that short amount of time we actually played together. But I pretty much felt that I'm more of a classic Andy. You know, I like the more slow-paced progression style gameplay that classic WoW has to offer. And that's where we split off again. So, you know, we're still good friends IRL, but in the game, we're not playing together that much. And that's where I want to say again, like, those guys you that can actually play with your IRL friends and, you know, share the same, oh my god, boys, another bag, another 6 slaughter, that's huge. Like, I've never had this much luck on a lower level character before. No, but like I said, you know, you guys that can play with your IRL chat friends, all the credit to you. If you have the similar kind of interests in the game, and you can play the same game version and play in the same guild, like that must be absolutely wonderful. For me, I've never really experienced that. Like I said, I'm a bit more of a classic Andy, and I'm probably gonna stay a classic Andy as well for a bit of quite a long time. You know, I've caught up to Midnight, like I watched some content on it and stuff like that, but I haven't bought the expansion because I felt that, you know, as of now, I bought every retail expansion for God knows how many years. Like I bought every single one. I bought War Within, and I played for like 2 weeks, and then I quit. Like I did a little bit of Mythic Plus and stuff like that, but then I just quit. I just fell out of it because it didn't really, you know, fit my style of play. But, you know, I felt that when Midnight came out that I only have both time and, you know, energy to commit to one version of WoW. And I decided that version was gonna be Classic WoW. But inside that Classic WoW bracket, you know, I'm still open to, you know, I can see some trending stuff going around about playing Season of Discovery again in a fresh way, and, you know, maybe trying out Classic Hardcore and all of these things. But, staying under that classic umbrella is what I'm gonna be doing for the foreseeable future. Like, of course, I'm gonna stay updated on both, The Last Titan and Midnight, and follow the story, follow all of these things. But in the end, if like my classic guild was to like fall apart, and I would be completely guildless and be super tired of all the drama and all of these things, then I might, check out retail for a little bit, just to do something differently. But I still feel like, nah, I can only commit to one version of WoW, and that's just the way it's gonna be. And I think that many people are, in the same boat, to be honest with you. Like, a lot of people might be, going through stressful times at work, and all these things, or just stressful things in life in general. And then you want to log in and just play a game to relax. And in my opinion, then classic is gonna be a lot better game for that purpose than retail is. Since the pace is slower, you can feel like you're doing progression all the time. And just from what I've known and what I felt when I played back in War Within, is that the community is a lot different from the retail community. Like, a lot of guys here, the classic player base is primarily a little bit older, and they have jobs, families, responsibilities, all of these things. So the mindset and the approach to the game is a little bit different than it is to retail. So as you can see here, done with Valley of Trials. Like I said, not the fastest run of Valley of Trials. Like, it took 41 minutes, but it was a bit of setting up macros and stuff. So now we're heading down to, as you can see, Senjin Village and the Echo Isles. This is also like a bit of a nostalgia trip running down here, because my introduction to World of Warcraft, besides playing at a friend's house before everything, before I decided to buy it myself, was that I played a lot of Warcraft 3 when I was a kid. And I didn't play, custom modes, because we had one of those. Oh shit, here we go.
Adventurer. The Korkar centaurs lie just over the ridge to the west in Korkar Crag. Last night while they were raiding, I snuck into their village and discovered that the dirty beasts have a three-tiered attack planned on the trolls and orcs of Durata. We mustn't let their invasion come to fruition. Perhaps you can muster the might needed to infiltrate Korkar Crag and destroy their attack plans. Last I saw, they had divided them up amongst 3 of their leaders. Your report comes at a bad time. The burning blade is not seen here in Senjin, but their evil has taken seed off the coast on the Echo Isles. The orcs are friends of the Darksteel trolls. Honorable friends. We want to help the orcs, but we need help too. I hear the voice of my brother Minshina calling to me. In my dreams, he was taken by Zalazan, the warlock on the Echo Isles to the east, and he is dead. But death is not freedom for my brother. Minshia's spirit was trapped within his own skull by Zalazani's magics. In my dreams, I see it with other skulls, in a circle of power on the largest Echo Isle. As long as it remains there, my brother's soul is safe. Peace, adventurer. Find the circle and retrieve Sheena's skull. Bring it to me. Free him. The witch doctor Zalazani dwells on the Echo Isles to the east. They are the isles we once called home. From there, he sent his trolls to the mainland to hex our people and drag more of them under his sway. He must be stopped. Defeat Zalazani and his minions form a Darksteel trolls now lost to us. Bring me his head, and I will know his reign of evil is over. We at Sinjin village are not without our own troubles. We thank you for your aid, but the news you bring regarding the burning blade will be trouble for everyone. There is an orc stationed at Razor Hill Orgnil Solskar who polices Duratar from evils such as the burning blade. Go to Orgnil and tell him of our plight, as well as your news from the Valley of Trials. He will want to know these things. Razor Hill lies to the north. Although my eyes fail me, I still can see clearly enough. More often, I must rely on my alchemical skills to aid me in magics that once came easily. But I refuse to take on an apprentice. No troll or orc worthy enough has ever come forward. Are you worthy? Yes, of course you are. Of course you think you are. I need a few things. Will you get them for me? I need intact Makura eyes and vials of Cora Mucus. You can find them on any Makura or Crora in Duratar. We shall speak again soon. Many of the hides we use come from Duratar tigers. Blankets, armor, tents. There are a great many reasons we hunt the beasts, and many reasons we let them thrive. At the same time, the time has come for us to cull the flock, so to speak. Our numbers grow, and our needs are beginning to overwhelm our stocks. I need more hides if I'm to prepare suitable goods for our people. Bring me 4 Duratar tiger furs, and I shall reward you. You can find them on the islands south of here.
Wow, what a lore dump. See, this is the good thing about this add-on, and you know, playing it with this experience is that, for example, like, of course, I knew that the Echo Isles was the original home of the trolls, because I played Warcraft 3 campaigns, right? Like I said, we didn't really we had dial-up internet, so we couldn't really, you know, I couldn't play custom games, so I only played story mode with all of Warcraft 3. And I knew that the Echo Isles were the home of the trolls. But look at this other thing. Like, I had no idea. Like, from all of my orc characters, I picked up that skull in the Echo Isles and killed that witch doctor Salasane without having a single clue that skull actually is the brother of Master Gadrin, the troll who gives me the quest. So that gives me a whole nother kind of... It gives me a completely different insight and stakes in what I'm doing in the world. You know, and it's, to be honest, it's super immersive, even though I'm, you know, using my rested XP to help me with, you know, knowing where to go and what to do. But this, you know, it adds, like I said, it adds a layer of depth to the game. And I know they couldn't do that back in 2004 and 2007. But for those guys that made that add-on, you know, all credit to you. Like, it's a huge win. And I would really recommend it. Like, if you just want to relax, because WoW lore, you know, although like in retail WoW, it's become super complex with like different layers of reality and realms of existence. You know, with the whole cosmological chart, and you know, you can watch Pyromancer for hours just going over what's going on in the world. But you know, in Classic, the quest design, and you know, just being able to know what's going on in the world, it adds such depth and such character to the game itself. And you know, I couldn't recommend it enough. Like I said, if you want to relax, just sit down, put on this series on your second monitor, and you know, log into the game and, you know, level and listen to the quests, listen to the story that people actually crafted throughout the game's development. Because you're gonna get amazed. Like, it's super interesting, and like, especially if you're a veteran WoW player, like, you can learn new stuff all the time, and that's, you know, gonna be a pretty fun experience. You know, it's gonna be something new and all of these things. So I figured this is the plan right now, right? So we got plenty of quests down here. What we're going to finish up the crawlers and the Makura Ice, And then we're gonna do the Centaur battle plan, so we're gonna actually save the Echo Isles. Not because it's the guide says so, but because before I head to the Echo Isles, I wanna, you know, grab my professions, because, you know, the tigers and the mobs on those isles is actually gonna be able to be skinned. So I've decided during this video, like, I wanna go skinning and leatherworking, and I think that the skinning trainer is in Orgrimmar, so we need to head all the way over up there and, you know, grab something, grab the profession so we can start doing stuff. And then we're head out to the Echo Isles after that. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to, you know, do this entire journey, and, you know, like I said, you know, listening to quest logs and what's going on in the world. You know, it's usually I've been a criminal of this as well, you know, by going super fast, you know, going Berber, follow arrow, grind here, grind there. Don't, you know, I've most of the time, like, I've had not even listened to the in-game zones, like I've just been sitting around, you know, listening to like Barney64's Scarab Lord video, or, you know, watching an Asmongold reaction video on something, and then I just level and I don't really pay attention. But, you know, actually paying attention is going to give me a whole nother level of commitment to the world and to the character that I'm playing. And something I would really recommend, like, if you're playing TVC right now, I don't know about the PvP bros, because I don't really PvP, but for the raiding bros, like, to be honest with you, it's pretty much raid logging all the time. And I only play World of Warcraft, like, that's the only game that I really play. I don't really have time or commitment for playing anything else. You know, I played Witcher 3 for a little bit, of course, but you know, WoW is sort of my real main game, and this is a good thing to do in between raids. You know, if you just want to be sitting on Discord chatting the shit with your guild, or, you know, your friends, you know, just make an alt and level through the world, because the world is some of the real content in World of Warcraft. So let's see here. Now we're gonna just shit. We need 3 more crawler murkers. Or muckus, or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. Hopefully we can get them before this, you know, this war chief, Tauren shaman, or orc shaman. Let's just see. There we go. Come on, drop one. Yes, 2 more. 2 more. Let's go. Let's go, there we go. Killing crabs, you know. It's also, you know, pretty interesting to me on a, like, psychological level, like how this type of game just, it hooks you in and it just doesn't let go. Like, it's super interesting to me, like, because if you look at it, like, the gameplay loop isn't really that complex. It's not really that high rush dopamine style of play, but and it's not like super mechanically complex, but it just hooks you in. And oh yeah, look, oh yeah, I forgot about this. The fishing trainer, Lautiki. I'm gonna be learning fishing as well, just because I can. There we go, fishing. That's good. Now I got the fishing ready, so I can. We're actually gonna put it on my bars. So where do we have it? Apprentice fishing. Put it on Control F. There we go. So I need 1 more crawler muckus, then we can head to the centaurs. Let's go. Come on, come on. There we got it. There we got it. As you can see, I sort of fell out of the leveling guide, but you know, that's okay. You know, it's always good to know when you stumble and lose your way, you know where to head back to keep a good pace of the route. Let's see, boom, 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 there we go. Come on now, drop my last fucking quest item, let's go. Let's go. Shit. Take a sip of coffee. I actually need to stretch my back. I had a pretty good round of golf today, to be honest. Just went out and played 9 holes just before I got back and recorded this video, just as a way of clearing my mind. And you know, physical activity is important. You know, I think I talk a lot about this with, you know, friends of mine and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't matter if you're super into fitness or, you know, you're hating going to the gym or whatever. But in the end, you know, you need to do something to keep your body and your mind stimulated, and something to, you know, relieve your mind of stress that's been adding up, you know, and that can be different things. It can be, you know, going to the gym, it can be playing golf, it can be taking a walk with the dog, it can be pretty much anything. But, you know, the important thing is that even if you have gaming as a main hobby, you know, since the entire society has become much more sedentary and, you know, people aren't moving as much as they used to, you know, getting that walk in, you know, getting a walk in for 30 to 45 minutes a day is going to help your well-being immensely. That's my opinion. Like, cause I've been through some shit, man. Like, I've been having rough patches in life where, you know, you don't really feel like doing much. You know, you go to the gym and you get extremely demotivated right away because you're not as strong as you used to be, or, you know, people are stronger than you and you're comparing yourself to others, which is, you know, super common. And it's not good to do, but it's something that you need to get through and get over. So I would really recommend to, you know, find something you can do that relieves your mind of stress, and make sure to, you know, take a walk a day. Try and eat, you know, pretty healthy food. You know, I know as well, you know, in life, you know, things get stressy. There's expectations all over the place, but, you know, if you can eat a diet where you're pretty much, you know, just eating food that you cook yourself, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna be able to feel better than if you would to, you know, order takeaway every day. Because, you know, I've been there too. Like, I can really relate to the guys saying that, like, I don't really have the time or the energy to cook or whatever. I've been there. But it's, you know, you need to get through it. You need to, you know, find a way. That's, you know, something pretty common as well, that, you know, you need to, when you have problems in, you know, work or in life or whatever, you know, in gaming, you know, just pointing at the problem isn't gonna be solving it. You know, pointing at the problem isn't going to help you out in the long run. What you need to do is that you need to find ways to solve that problem. And I know it's easy to say, it's hard to do, but in the end, you know, just finding a way is gonna be something good. And I know some things you might not find a way out of. I can give you an example for myself. You know, I've had a pretty rough 6 months, you know, in my economic department. And you know, that's the same thing. Like, I could just sit down and whine and bitch about not having as much money as I would want, or, you know, having too many bills, or, you know, whatever. Or I could actually, you know, find a way of you know, trying to find a solution, which is what I would recommend you to do. And, you know, because this is gonna go, we're 58 minutes in, and I'm giving you some more context. Like, I work in professional sports on management and leadership side. So if it's something I've learned from working in that environment where, you know, performance is everything. You know, of course you're measured on like your performance in like a sales job as well, but it's not even close to be on the same level as it is in sports. And you know, what I've learned from being in that environment is that there's two kinds of people. Like there is the what we call champion mentality and the victim mentality. You know, and this is once you know it, you can't really unsee it. Because you know the victim mentality people, they keep, you know, talking about blaming others, you know, just finding what's wrong, pointing at problems, not taking responsibility, not taking ownership of things. And the champion mindset people, they are the guys that are taking responsibility, taking ownership, finding solutions for problems that occur not only within, you know, the sport, but within life as well. So I've learned that in order for me to be the best version of myself, as not only in my job position, but also like in life, it's to make sure that I correct myself as soon as I feel I'm leaning into that victim mentality and trying to course correct myself back into a champion way of thinking. And that's pretty interesting because my entire life view has become a lot more positive since I actually started taking ownership over things. Started taking ownership of what I eat, how I work out. I take ownership of how I'm managing my finances, taking ownership of, you know, how I'm gonna build something besides my work, like this YouTube channel, for example. I've stopped blaming others, blaming the algorithm, blaming things, and moved into taking ownership, and that's changed my entire perspective on, you know, on life and all of these things. So if you've gotten this far into the video, you know, making sure to remember that, lean into the champion mentality and leave the victim mentality behind. And if you would like me to talk about more about that kind of thing and how that might be able to help you out as a person that's might not be feeling well, or, you know, had a lot of adversity in life, because, you know, in the end, you know, we're all facing different amounts of adversity at different times in our lives, right? So some people might be facing off an immense amount of adversity, and some might be facing a little bit less adversity. But adversity is coming. You know, adversity is not something that nobody ever has to deal with. But when you deal with it, that's when you have to choose if you're going to be a champion or a victim. And, you know, like, if you want me to talk more about that, like in depth, or, you know, just expand my thoughts and what experiences I've gone through to, you know, be able to be better at identifying when I'm leaning into the wrong side of the spectrum, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to talk about more about it in upcoming episodes of this levering journey. So as you can see right now, I sort of zoned out and talked about real life stuff. As you can see here, I had to, with the guide, I wanted me to, oh shit, yeah, I don't want to hear the spirit healer talk. No, I'm sorry. So we're ending the end of the first episode here. So what we're going to be doing is that I'm going to be turning in these quests, and then, you know, off camera, you know, because you guys don't really want to, I don't think you want to join me down to, shut the fuck up. Yeah, just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, spirit healer. There we go.
Well done, young one. Well done indeed. The horde would surely prevail if our centaurs were to attack, but by preventing such an attack, we have have spared our mighty warriors unnecessary bloodshed. And as sure as there is sand in the Daenerys Desert, we know that there will be blood spilled before these trying times are through. You have served your people well, adventurer.
Yeah, so that's a good lordom. So back to what's going on here. So as you can see, I just bought a skinning knife. So what I'll do is fishing supplies. I'm gonna buy a fishing rod. Massive. There we go. So what I'll do is I'm gonna end the first episode right here. Oh shit! As you can see, this is Votaz, the level 7 troll hunter. Off screen, I'm gonna go get my professions done. I'm not gonna complete any quests though. I'm gonna go get my professions. So in the next video, we'll catch back right here where we left off in Senjin Village, heading off to Razor Hill, heading off to the Echo Isles, and continuing the adventure. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to join me on, the episodes of getting this troll hunter all the way to Sunwell Plateu and equipping that Foradal Stars Fury. See you in the next one, guys. Ciao.